Yo, what's going on, Consulted by G-Dot family? It's your boy G-Dot back at it again with another inspirational, motivational, and financially freeing video. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. So today we're going to be reacting to Jordan Welch asking a billionaire how to get rich. Now, if you don't know, now you're going to know about some free game a billionaire is going to give us on how to get rich. And, I got to add my critiques and my little throw-ins every now and then. So let's get straight into it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, GuapoBoyGdot, and Twitter, GuapoBoyGdot. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. Let's see what Jordan Welch has to say about everything. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, GuapoBoyGdot. I already said that, but I gotta say it again. Gotta make sure you know.
Another day, another W. We just landed here in Dubai, and today we're gonna be hanging out with a billionaire. We're gonna get his whole story, learn exactly how he got rich.
I like that.
And I'm gonna ask him for his formula for you guys to go out there and make some money for yourself.
Definitely need the sauce.
My name is Yelchin, and I'm an entrepreneur here in Dubai. We've actually built a large online car trader. Actually, it's me and my team, including Pablo.
Can you break down a little bit of what this business, Sell Any Car, actually does?
Yeah. So, look, 10 years ago, that's when I started this business.
Okay.
I tried to sell my car, and it was a headache. So when you want to sell a used car, it usually took like 6 weeks. You list it, and people annoy you, time wasters, tire kickers, all of those guys. I hate it. So I said, there must be a way to sell your car within 30 minutes, no hassle, fast and fair. So we started SellAnyCar.com, which promises to buy any car within 30 minutes. Any car, as it says. We are by far the largest used car trader online.
So you got blogs with loads.
That's actually a very smart idea. The business model is pretty simple. He saw a problem that took too long to get fixed, so he went in there and he actually made a very time-saving, what's the word I'm looking for? Resolution that he can actually use for the car business, because it does take a long time to sell used cars. Like, especially if you don't go on certain websites, certain apps, it does take a long time to sell cars. So with him making the promise that you can get your car sold in 30 minutes, and even if it doesn't hold up 100% of the time, at least it holds up 90-95% of the time, people are able to sell their car in 30 minutes, or they have an offer within 30 minutes, that's going to boost his portfolio a lot, because a lot of people take, like he said, weeks to sell their car. So that was a very good idea to a solution, and there's to an issue. And there's also a lot of issues out there that have very easy solutions like this that you can take advantage of as well. You got to think outside the box.
Paul and Kendall Jenner and Mo Vlog.
I started relatively early compared to other CEOs. What weird thing are you doing today that's gonna sound normal in 5 years? So we can drive around and see some of our cars.
Let's do it.
He got a fleet.
These are
I don't think they're an American.
Bought today. Here.
All these you bought today.
Yeah.
So if you could estimate, how much do you think you spend per day on cars?
Definitely around 8 digits.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, these are cars.
What's the formula, though?
Bubble gum. Like, how it started was, I said, look, I'm gonna buy cars and sell them like a regular car dealer. Early on realized, hold on, who's gonna pay for all these cars?
Right.
I can't buy all these cars and then hope that I can sell it in like 2 weeks. So I watched my team members, and they actually were doing calls all the time to dealers. They say, hey, we have this car, how much can you bid? WhatsApp, how much can you bid? So I realized, hey, that's an auction. Why don't we just make it an official online auction instead of you calling and WhatsApping everybody? That's how the business evolved into this. So now you can buy, I don't know, thousands of cars every day because we already have the buyer.
If you could estimate over the years, how many cars do you guys think you've bought?
Look, last year we got $6 billion worth of cars. I mean, that was last year.
Just last year alone.
Yeah.
That's amazing, brother. Let's keep riding these things around. We're having a lot of fun.
One thing I will say about this, though, it has a very unique business model, very smart business model. He basically buys the cars and auctions them off himself, which is smart. But one thing I would recommend him doing is, what if he got into the car rental game too? Because you're already buying all these cars. You could have a fleet of car rentals that you could push out, and people could actually just take advantage of, and you can get the money on the back end, and you get the money from insurance in case someone ever messes up the car. So I feel like if you're buying all these cars anyway, like, I'm not saying it's unrealistic, because clearly he's doing it. But if you're buying all these cars and selling them anyway, why don't you have a certain division for car rentals for the nicer cars that you're buying? I feel like that would help a lot.
Growing up, you guys didn't have very much money, right? You were sort of living all together, your grandparents, your siblings in an apartment together, right?
Correct. It was a small
Very
one-bedroom
unfortunate
apartment. And then this tragedy happened. So I came from school and I discovered my little sister. She was 5 months old, a baby, in her crib, and she was shaking and she was blue in her face. And I remember I was in the kitchen, so I screamed, my mother came, and then they were gone for years. And they were kind of living in the hospital. We then were told that she had a seizure and she has epilepsy.
Oh, as a
And
baby?
for me as a kid, it was the moment where I said, I want to solve this problem. I didn't know what entrepreneurship was, but I said, I'm going to become a football player because they make a lot of money. That's what kids think. So I tried that, and I thought it was very unlikely that you can actually make it even if you're really, really good. I tried DJing. You cannot really scale it, right? Because
it's true.
You're always limited to your time. So I realized that's nothing for me. So now I said, maybe I should study business because I love building a business. I love becoming an entrepreneur, and that's probably also the only field that kind of teaches you how to make money. You don't need the billionaire next door to be your mentor. I think everybody in your circle is better at doing something than you. You take all of those and build your own character. And that was something I got from my studies. I got those people around me that kind of always pushed me towards entrepreneurship. So I moved here with a backpack and sat in a restaurant. I said, okay, let's see what's up here. No money, just my credit card that I could overdraft.
How far away is this restaurant that you went to back in the day?
It should be like 20 minutes from here, 15, 20 minutes.
Maybe we should go there. I want to see where you started this at, and then we can dig deeper in this story. I think it would be cool for you to go back to that spot as well. Let's do it. Come on, let's head over there.
That takes a drive, ambition, and a hustle, though. It takes a next level drive for you to actually go to a new country. First of all, see your sister go through that and want to even envelop yourself in the persona of getting enough money by any means necessary to take care of her and your family and solve all these money issues. You went from sports to music, and now you're dealing in entrepreneurship, but it also takes a lot of balls and a lot of heart for you to go to a new country with just your backpack, laptop, and a credit card, go to a restaurant, and then use the free Wi-Fi just to get everything going. So I do want to say that's what it takes most of the time, though. It takes a crazy amount of passion, a little bit of insanity, because you got to go in there and not really care about what other people are going to say or what other people think your results are going to be. But it takes a lot of drive to just want to get up every day and do this the right way.
Look, I'll show you something. Because I love cats, we created a mobile feeding station. Check this out.
Okay.
Mobile feed station.
Anytime you see a cat in need, we're right here.
This man is saving all the cats of Dubai. Everybody eats.
That's nice stuff.
Yes.
Over the years, like what are some of the cars you've had?
I got all the Aventadors, all the Lamborghinis, all the Aston Martins, all the McLarens, all the Bugatti.
But all the Bugatti.
Yeah, it's just
all the Bugattis.
I generally just stopped kind of investing into status objects. Just, I don't know. I think my status should come from the things I say, not the things I buy.
That's real.
This is true. This is true.
District, the first district I worked out from, it was in this small cafe/restaurant right here, and has affordable hotels. So this is, my first days in Dubai.
You would stay in this hotel, come across the street, and use the Wi-Fi at this place.
I spent like 6 to 9 months here.
Let's go see what they're up to today.
Yeah, let's go. This was the table. I remember this thing, but it was different. I had like salads here behind. Oh, they still have salads, but it's a different one.
How does it feel to be back in here?
Crazy.
He didn't shed a
Tell me
tear.
about the first days when you would come in here. You started this fashion company called Sukar.com.
Yeah.
You would come in here with your laptop.
Yes.
Take me back to that. Paint the picture.
Man, it brings back memories.
A lot for them to take in. Made it a long way.
So I was sitting here building a business plan. And then, now I remember I was messaging people on LinkedIn here, saying, hey, would you like to join me? I have this pioneering new idea, fashion online in the Middle East, where we became like the Amazon model. And then Amazon ended up buying that company.
Oh wow.
for a good amount of money as well, right? So what did this business actually do?
And that's another thing a lot of people don't understand that you can do too, that you can make a lot of money with, is selling companies. Like you start a company and it doesn't like have to be overly successful. Like don't get me wrong, it's gotta have like some type of success to it, but it doesn't have to be $1 trillion company for someone to see interest in it and want to buy it. For example, it was this app called Postmates. Postmates was a delivery app. Postmates was making people a lot of money. It was making a lot of money in general just because of how cheap their prices were and the deals they were having. And then DoorDash, I believe, ended up buying Postmates. They bought it for a good chunk of change, but that doesn't mean that Postmates was $1 trillion company for DoorDash buy it. They bought out their competitors, but they also liked the business model, so they took it. So you got to think of things like that. What can I do? Not with the intention of selling the business per se, but what can I do to make money inside this field? And later on down the line, like, someone might come to you with an offer.
So Sukar was selling branded items like luxury fashion brands at up to 90% discount. How he got those discounts was they were products and items from the past season. So it wasn't the newest style. It was like last year's styles, right? And the brands were trying to get rid of them.
Tell me about some of the nights where you maybe were just coming home unsure of the future.
Look, the first people I hired out of this place, they started a competitor while they were working with me, and they raised $75 million to compete. You know how much money I had raised? 1.9 million.
I'm sure that just made you want to
Wanna
go
go
even
harder.
harder on this business.
5 months later, after I had hired good people, we made $1 million a month. And they went bankrupt 2 years later. I was the guy that had this action bias. Prepare less and do more. I'm not saying don't prepare, but I'm saying don't always prepare your whole life. If you think about most people's lives, they go to kindergarten, they go to school, then they go to university, and then they prepare.
With no action.
Everything in your life is a preparation for something. When are you actually going to start doing things? Even if you are just starting at a job, you're preparing to become a department head. Stop preparing at one point of time and do it. And one thing, remember, nobody cares about the things you have almost done. Only the things that you've actually ended up doing count, even if you failed.
So you ended up selling your first company to Amazon. How much did you end up selling it to them for?
But it depends on how you look at it, including the working capital, probably close to, well, mid 650 million approximately.
Is the day of
That's crazy. That's insanity. I just want to let that be known. That's literal insanity that he was able to do that. But it's just motivation for me. That's why I like watching these videos. I want to share this with you too, because like you said, you just got to stop preparing at some point. At some point, you just got to start doing it. Now, doing it can mean a lot of things, but at some point, you just got to start putting the action in. Like, for example, how he said, instead of preparing to be a department head, start acting like you're a department head already. Start doing little things. Start picking up little traits. Start like asking more questions. Like, start doing it now, instead of waiting until you get to that position to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's really what they mean.
selling the business as it's made out to be in all the stories and the movies we hear?
Look, I tell you a story how it felt. And it was here in 2010, early 2010, when I ran out of money. I had just pocket change, and I drove to with taxi to the potential investor's office. He wasn't even an investor yet. I was trying to convince them. And the receptionist there, she said, oh, he's not here. How can I help you? I said, "Ma, can you lend me some money?" And she gave me, and she's not a high earner, she gave me $500 approximately, converted.
The receptionist.
Yeah, she gave me $500 so I could survive for a week. Fast forward, 2017. I live in the highest tower in the world in a beautiful apartment. My door rings, she comes in and she gives me the paper, the agreement to sell the company. And I signed it and I didn't recognize it. And she said, "Times changed, huh?" And I looked at her, I had goosebumps. She was the lady, she gave me that money. Obviously I gave it back to her back then, but and then she sees this huge deal from kind of running out of food money to then selling this company for a huge amount.
That's what it's all about, though. It's all about progress. It's all about progression. It's all about moving forward. Without that, you really ain't got nothing. So I'm proud of him that he was able to do this, and this all just goes back to thinking outside the box and doing something someone else isn't very far in life. But you know that if you just keep pushing forward, never give up.